Hey guys, it's Riley from RJFilmss, and today I'm going to be doing episode 2 of how to film skateboarding. So today I'm actually going to be doing this on the computer. This is going to be talking about editing. So to start off with editing, I'm going to talk about color correcting your footage. Now some people like to color correct their footage, some people would rather not do it, but I personally like to do it because number one, it makes your footage look better, and number two, it's actually pretty fun once you know what you're doing. So as you can see here, I got a video of a water bottle. It's just a little cinematic thing I recorded just for the heck of it. So what you want to do is drop it in Sony Vegas, as you can see I have here, and under the video effects tab, you're going to have a bunch of effects. Now I'm going to go through the effects that you should use and pretty much just stick to those when color correcting. You don't really need anything else. So to start off, I like to use brightness and contrast. I click on the reset to none and then I drop it onto my video track, and then as you can see here, it brings up this window. So whenever you're color correcting, be sure to keep your preview quality on high, because if it is on, say, quarter, you can't get as much detail, and it's only one frame, so you don't have to worry about it lagging or anything like that. So once I bring up the brightness and contrast, some shots are different than others, but I usually like to bring the contrast up a bit, maybe 0.10, and maybe just brighten it up a little bit, 0.2. So something easy like that, nothing too dramatic like, say, 1 or anything like that, because obviously that doesn't look very good. Alright, so as you can see here, you can see before and after. When adjusting the contrast, you do lose some detail, but you get some brighter colors and just obviously better contrast. So I like to do that. And then moving along, I like to use the color curves. So click on reset to none and then drop it on your video track. Now you can either adjust all channels at once, red, green, or blue, by clicking here and moving this about. And you can either darken the shadows or brighten the highlights or whatever you want to do there. But I am going to not do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into more detail, and if you click on this drop down button, you can go into the red, green, and blue channels individually. So if you want kind of a more red tone, you can bring up the red or drop the red for a more bluish, but for this clip I'll just kind of bring up the red. Now remember, color correcting, just do whatever kind of looks good. Nothing is necessarily perfect. So if you look on YouTube and you find tutorials on a certain color correction, maybe it just doesn't fit your footage, so you're going to want to learn how to color correct yourself by watching this video, obviously. This will kind of teach you the basics of color correcting. So I brought up the red a bit. I'll drop the green a little bit. It's kind of starting to look weird, but once I think if I bring up the blue a bit, it'll look better. Yeah, so right about there. So as you can see now, this is the footage before it was color corrected, and then we threw on the brightness and contrast and the color curves. So it just kind of overall looks a little bit better right now. And then what we can do from there, sometimes you can use the color corrector or color corrector secondary. I'll show you what the secondary one looks like. Mainly I only use these if I want to make it a certain color, like if I want to make it more yellow or orangey or whatever. But really this isn't very helpful in all cases. If your camera shoots pretty good color in the first place, like mine does, it's kind of vibrant, you should not have to use the color corrector very much, because then it'll just make it look over color corrected, like as you can see now. And then if you try and reduce it, then it just looks stupid. So another thing you can do is if you click on plugin chain, if you click that, you can come into here, and as you can see, the plugins you have are at the top. I'll just click on color corrector secondary and then remove that effect. Alright. So the last thing I like to do when I'm color correcting is go down here and I go to saturation adjust. Now I reset to none, drag that onto the clip, and then I kind of boost the amount up to say something like 0.5, and then I change the spread all the way up to 1. So pretty much what that does is, as you can see here, it makes everything, the colors more bright and neonish. But another thing you can do is drop the saturation to, say, negative numbers if you want to go for a more neutral toned kind of film effect look. As you can see here, saturation off and on. So either way, you can either go for a more fun, kind of happy-ish color with the increased saturation, or a more deep, I'm not sure, whatever you want to call it, by dropping the saturation. Either way, whatever you like, just be sure when you're color correcting you do, or you use a color correction that you like. So one thing to do on the saturation adjust though, don't bring it all the way up to 1, because then it just looks oversaturated. The blues and the greens, it's just too bright. So I'd say kind of limit yourself at about 0.5. I'd aim for anywhere between 0.5 and negative 0.5. With the negative, you can go down a little bit farther though. But obviously, if you drop it all the way down to -1, it's going to be almost black and white. So for this clip, I'll drop it to about -4. So as you can see there, that's the color corrected footage. Now, once you get a color correction, you're not going to want to go into each of your clips again and copy down the exact same numbers. So what you can do is you can click on this little green thing, the event effects. As you can see here, it's your 3 things you use to color correct your footage. Then click on this, the plugin chain. Once you click on that, this will pop up. Now these right here are all color corrections I've used before, but what you can do is, as you can see, you have brightness and contrast, color curves, and saturation adjust. You go over here to the right hand side and click Save As, and you can name your package, and I'll just name it ZZZ so that it will be at the bottom of the list so you guys can see. And then if I hit OK, you can see it's there. So pretty much what that means is that if I go into this and say I were to remove all the effects as if I had a brand new clip, then I could just click on this event effects and then come down to my ZZZ color correction, double click on it, hit OK, and as you can see, my brightness and contrast, color curves, and saturation adjust are there again. So that's about it for this tutorial. The next 2 tutorials will be about exporting your footage, rendering it, and also about some other things. I actually really don't know, but that's it for this tutorial, color correcting, and hopefully you learned something from this. Maybe you'll color correct your footage, maybe you won't, just depends. It's a personal preference type of thing. So that's about it. This has been Riley from RJFilmss. Yeah, I'm getting confused with my other channel. This has been Riley from RJFilmss, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.